The Massillon Tiger Football Museum proudly presents another combining of film with original play-by-play audio to produce a unique video of a past Massillon Canton gridiron classic.
Madison defensively. At the defensive left end, Jim Letkovitz. Defensive right end, Ronnie Gardner. At defensive left tackle, Ronald Dean. At defensive right tackle, Bruce Schramm. At the middle guard, will be Bob Williams. Backing up the left side of the line, Eddie Fletcher. The right side, Tom Boone. The middle linebacker, Willie Longshore. The defensive left half for Madison, Bill Stone. Right half, John Francisco, and safety man, Homer Floyd. The kickoff, the Madison Tigers chose to kick off to the Bulldogs, although they won the toss at the coin. They are defending the goal to our left to the west goal here at Fawcett Stadium. McKinney, of course, going from east to west. Bogle will boot for Massillon. It's a flat boot. Goes down to Nat Harris down on the 5. He picks it up down there. Comes up laterally across the field at the 10. A nice block thrown in there. Spins his way loose, loses the football. And it's Massillon's ball, we believe, on the McKinley 3-yard line. We'll wait and see. Harris was hit, lost the football. And it's Massillon's ball. First and 10 to go. First and goal to go, we should say, on the McKinley 3-yard line. A tremendous break in the ball game for Massillon and a real bad one for the Bulldogs. And that's why this Massillon team wanted to kick off to McKinley. They chose to try to loot that ball down there, hoping that McKinley would bobble the ball and they could recover. The ball's on the 4-yard stripe in the umpile, and it certainly worked just the way they planned it. Over the ball at center, their offensive team now is Tom Fisher. Crescent's up under center, and there's a flag down, and we believe an offside penalty on the Bulldogs. They initiated the offense, and of course that puts the ball on the 1-yard line. Madison's first and goal to go on the 1-yard line. A real break for the Tigers and a disastrous one for McKinley. Off to a brilliant start of the Tigers. Let's see if the Bulldogs can hold, and that's almost an impossibility, but maybe they can. Crescent on his feet goes in for the touchdown. Crescent scores for Massillon. And the Massillon Tigers lead in the quickest touchdown scored here at Fawcett Stadium this year, we do believe. 6-0. Massillon leads. Now comes the try for the extra point, and that's why these coaches make those moves. Maybe many of you wondered why Massillon would kick to the Bulldogs, give them the first offensive move. And that's why they did it, and it worked exactly as they had planned. And the Bulldogs are off again. There's the kick. The kick was booted, and the Bulldogs were offsides again. Now, if the kick was good, Massillon, of course, would take the point. If it wasn't, Massillon would kick again. And apparently the kick was not good, so Massillon gets another try at it. This Bulldog team, tremendously eager, inspired to try to do a job today, is too rabid in there at the moment. They're too eager, and they're causing errors. Why now for the kick again? Boone will boot. The kick is made. The kick is good. The score is Massillon 7 and McKinley nothing. And again, the Tigers will come upfield to kick off to the Bulldogs, but this time not at the start of a ball game, but after a successful touchdown. We'll recap that for you. Bogle kicked that ball off from the 40-yard line. It was a flat ball. The ball was lying on the 40 flat. And it did go nicely into the air, however, but instead of spinning end over end, it was spinning just the opposite way, a flat spin downfield. Harris took it down on his 5, bobbled it, picked it up, went laterally across the field to the sidelines, and was hit over there, lost possession of the football on the 10. It rolled back to the 4, and that's where Massillon covered it. And now Bogle again will kick for the Tigers. Another flat kick. This time it's one that goes awry, down toward the sidelines, bounces around crazily. It's finally picked up by Garman. He goes laterally to the sideline again. He's down to the 10, and he's hit on the 10-yard stripe, dropped on the 12. Garman hit down on the 12-yard line by Ronnie Gardner. The ball is first down now for the Bulldogs on their 12-yard stripe. First and 10 to go, and this Massillon Tiger team, a tremendous juggernaut here at the opening of this ball game, made the break and took advantage of it very quickly. 7-0 Massillon leading. Over the ball at center now goes Ronnie Purdue. And McKinley has just a 3-man backfield now. The ball goes directly back to Bandy. He gives it off now to Garman. Garman comes to the outside, and he's hit down on the 13-yard line. Hit down by John Francisco, the defensive right halfback, on the 13-yard stripe. It'll be second down and 9 for the Bulldogs. McKinley on that particular play had 3 men in the backfield. They had an 8-man line. We're trying to pick up the man who was in the line. We'll see if it happens again. Jim Dreher was in that line. Jim Dreher, the quarterback, the blocking back, was in the line. He moves into the line just inside the left end, between Carter and Compar. The ball goes directly back to Harris. He's up the middle, doesn't go anywhere, and then finally drives his way up over the 15 to the 16-yard line. Nat Harris, through sheer power, goes to the 16-yard line. McKinley's ball, 3rd down, 6 to go. Ronnie Dean made the tackle on the play for the Massillon Tigers. Bulldogs were practicing secretly all week, and this may be the particular play that they were working on, with Dreher in the line for an extra blocking man in the line. Again, they have Dreher in the line, this time on the right side. The ball goes to Harris. Harris is spilled just as he meets the 17-yard stripe. Spilled by Jim Letkovitz and Eddie Fletcher, who broke through there. So it's on the 17-yard line, 4th down and 5, and the Bulldogs will be forced to kick. Back in safety now for Massillon goes Homer Floyd. Homer Floyd, the fullback for this Massillon team, moving back to the midfield stripe, and the Bulldogs will kick with Bandy dropping back to the 5-yard stripe. Bandy waiting on the snap of the ball. He gets it, and it's almost blocked. It goes straight into the air and comes out of bounds on the McKinley 33-yard stripe. Rushing Massillon defense broke through that, almost blocked that kick. It'll be Massillon's ball on the McKinley 33. However, there's a flag down on the play. A flag on the play, and we'll see what that brings up. Flag on the play, and it's a penalty on the Massillon Tigers for roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker call on Massillon. They upset Bandy on the play, on the move in there. So it's McKinley's ball on their own 32-yard line. 1st down and 10 to go. 1st down, 10 to go for the Bulldogs on their own 32. Massillon in a 7-4 defensive arrangement now against the Bulldogs. Out on the right flank goes Gorman. The ball goes directly back to Bandy. He's looking for a receiver. He's throwing it. It is not good. Men on the play for Jim Dreher, the blocking back, up on the 38-yard line. The pass was low and into the dirt. Dreher couldn't pick it out. Bandy was rushed very quickly and couldn't get a good pass away. So it's 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs now on their 32. 2nd and 10 for McKinley on their 32. They trailed the ball game 7-0. We have 9 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter. Over the ball at center goes Ronnie Perdue. McKinney now has their 4-man backfield. Bandy in the tail. Nate Harris, the fullback slot. In motion goes Garman. There's a hand up to Harris, the fullback. He's through the line, driving his way up to the 35 before he's spilled there by 3 Massillon tacklers. In there on the play was Letkovitz and Francisco. Letkovitz, defensive left end. Francisco, the defensive right halfback. 3rd down and 7 now for the Bulldogs on their 35-yard line. Matthews comes in to replace Gorman at right half of the Bulldogs. Massillon in their 7-4 defensive alignment. 9 minutes left to go in the 1st quarter of a tremendously important ball game to both sides. Fine crowd here watching this contest today. And now they got Dreher in the line again. The ball goes back to Bandy. Spins in, gives it off, and there's a spill back on the 28-yard line. A spill of Dreher, and the forward motion on the play was to the 31. So that's where they put the ball down. Dreher was spilled back on the 28, but his forward motion had counted to the 31. So it's 4th down and 11 to go. And this Massillon Tiger team is completely stopping the Bulldog attack. All right, a double safety back from Massillon. A double safety back from Massillon as Bandy goes into punt formation. And he's going to run the ball. He's up to the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, and he's pinned on the 47-yard line. The Bulldogs ran from punt formation on 4th down, and John Francisco made the tackle on the play. John Francisco made the tackle. It's the Bulldogs' 1st and 10 to go on their own 47. And apparently you can expect most anything now from this Bulldog team today, because they know they've got to do something like that to surprise this Massillon juggernaut, who tremendously are favored in this contest. So it's the Bulldogs' 1st and 10 on their own 47. The score is Massillon 7, McKinley nothing, and it's over to Bob Pritting for a moment.
Okay, Jim, and fans, remember, Falk Bear offers $300 for pre-war cars traded in on any 48 through 53 used car on their lot. Well, you heard it in the background. You heard the fans roar, the McKinley boosters, after the opening seconds of this game when Massillon scored so quickly. They're happy now because it looks like the Bulldogs are going to open wide open. All right, Jim.
Bob, the big hullabaloo down here was Chuck Mather, Massillon coach, wanted to see the football that's in play. He came out far away on the field. Referee Chick Rupp took it over, showed it to him, and of course the McKinley fans raised riot at that. And of course that's in the provision. Any coach that wants to see the football, it's his privilege, and Chuck wanted to do it. All right, the ball's on the 47. First 10 on the Bulldog 47. They trailed 7-0 on the break of the ball game early in this, on the first kickoff, in fact. And that's three-man backfield again. The ball goes back to Garman, who's running from the tail this time. He's up over the 45, goes to the outside. He's to the midfield stripe, down to Madison territory, to the 48-yard line. Garman running from the tailback spot was knocked out of bounds on the far side by Homer Floyd after he'd carried to the Madison 48-yard stripe. So it's second down coming up now, and 5 to go. Second and 5 for McKinley. Sawinski goes out. Al Crawford comes in at right tackle now for the McKinley Bulldogs. Madison in the 7-4 defensive lineman. Singling to the right for McKinley. Dreher again in the line. The ball goes back to Harris this time. He's up the middle and doesn't go anywhere. There just wasn't any hole there as Madison jammed it up. Ball's down on the 48 of Madison. No gain on the play. Dean and Williams with Schramm in there closed up that hole, and the middle linebacker Willie Longshore came on to help out. So it's 3rd and 5 now for the Bulldogs, and they'll have to pull something else out of the bag now as they want to keep these first downs going. 7 minutes left to go on the first period. Madison leading 7-0. Bulldogs in a huddle on their 42-yard line. Over the ball at center goes Ronnie Perdue. McKinley now has their three-man backfield with Dreher in the line again next to the end. The ball goes back to Matthews. He gives it off to Bandy, and Bandy is spun down for a loss on the McKinley 48-yard line. Matthews was in the tail that time. It was given to Bandy on a reverse play, and it didn't go anywhere. It dropped yardage, and there's a Madison player injured. Injured on the play is Willie Longshore, the middle linebacker for the Madison Tigers. He's getting up slowly now. The referee Chick Rupp checks him to see if he's okay, and Coach Mather comes in to see how the boy is. The situation now at Fawcett Stadium is McKinley has the ball on their own 48, 4th down and 9 to go. We have 6.5 minutes left to go on the first period. Madison leads 7-0. On the kickoff, which was fumbled by Nat Harris, Madison recovering on the 3-yard stripe, on the 4-yard stripe. On the first play, McKinley was offside, drawing a penalty to the 1. And on the first play after that, Crescents went over on a quarterback sneak. While we wait, here's Bob Crading.
What is it they say, a thrill a minute? Well, that's certainly what we've been getting out here at Fawcett Stadium this afternoon. A quick score by Massillon. Since that time, the ball has been completely in the hands of the McKinley Bulldogs. On 2 occasions, they've had first downs. The first one coming by way of a penalty, and then the thing the Bulldog fans really liked. On 4th down, the punting down, the boy was back, and he took the ball. Instead of kicking, he ran down the sidelines, had good blocking in front of him. Of course, they were hoping he'd go all the way. He couldn't quite do that, but it did show the kind of wide-open ball we're getting here this afternoon. Time's back in. McKinley breaks huddle, and here's Jim Muzzy.
All right, Bob. Manny back in punt formation. He gets the ball. He boots it. It's a nice end-over-end kick going to the far sidelines, and rolling down the sidelines, down to the Massillon 15. Rolling dead on the Massillon 12-yard stripe. A nice boot by Bandy. And the Tigers have it on their own 12-yard line. First down, 10 to go. There's a flag down, however, on the play. Flag down, and we'll see what happens here. Referee Chick Rupp says there's a flag down on the Madison 49. We don't know who the penalty is going to be assessed against, if it is. But apparently it's a McKinley penalty because they talked to the Madison captain, Bruce Schramm, and of course Massillon will take that penalty. We would assume they would take the penalty because that kick puts them in a spot. Yes, they are bringing the ball back. They're bringing the ball back. It's penalty on the Bulldogs. And it's backfield in motion called on McKinley. That puts it down now to the 33-yard line. Correction, the 43-yard line. Ball was on the 48. 4th down and 14 to go now. That was a good kick for Bandy. The ball rolled nicely, and Madison safety man Floyd didn't pick it up because the McKinleyans were down on the play. We have 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go on the first period. The score is 7-0 in favor of Massillon. Now Bandy's back in punt formation, back to his 32. The snap of the ball, it's a good pass in center. He gets it away. It's a nice high spiral kick. The ends again are down. The ball bounces on the 20, rolls to the 15, and then rolls dead on the 15-yard strike. Beautiful kick by Bandy, and Bandy gets a nice hand from the crowd here. On this side of the field, a lot of them, of course, are Bulldog fans, and they'd like to see this Bulldog team do something here today to upset this club, or at least play them very close. Madison back in the huddle on the 5-yard spot. This is the first time Madison's been on offense since they scored their touchdown. T-formation balance line. Crescent's spotting signals. Crescent gives the ball to the right halfback Francisco. Big hole of the line. He goes up over the 20 and dropped from the 21-yard line by Patrick and Greer. Ball's put down on the 21-yard line. A nice hole as Madison hit over McKinley's left tackle and went for 6 yards in the play. It'll be 2nd down, 4 to go now for Madison. 5.5 minutes left to go on the first quarter. A colorful crowd here, a fine crowd of over 15,000 watching this ball game today. Crescent's cutting signals. Crescent gives to Floyd, the fullback. He's through the middle. Goes to the outside. He's to the 30, the 40, the 45, the midfield stripe. He is away to the touchdown. He goes all the way to the score. Floyd goes to the touchdown. The last man who had a crack at him was the defensive halfback, Ronnie Purdue, down here on the 30-yard line, but he couldn't quite pin him to the sidelines, and Floyd went for the touchdown. And this Massillon team sure showed here in this particular play how they racked up those touchdowns all year on long runs. Floyd on 2nd down and 4 went over defensive left tackle, cut to the outside, and just ran away from the defensive man. Here's the try for the extra point. Boone will kick. And McKinney's offside again. There's the kick. It's made. And Bulldogs are offside. The kick is good. So Madison, of course, takes the point, and the score now is 14-0 in favor of the Madison Tigers. And this tremendous Madison team doesn't beat out a yard or 2 or 3 at a time. They just go all the way. That kick, that touchdown run was good for 79 yards. Bob, what do you think of that?
That was one of the finest open field bits of running that we've seen all season. Mr. Floyd, once he got past that halfback, broke away, got a partial block there, got into the open. A couple of boys that looked like they might angle him to the sidelines, but you could just see him kind of grit his teeth, put on that extra burst of speed, and it was just more than anything that the McKinley Bulldog defenders could do, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind, I don't think, as to where he was going to end up, and that he did after 79 yards of fine running. Okay, Jim.
All right, Bob. Bogle kicks that low, flat kick again. This time it's taken by Roman. He goes up to the 30, it's 35, and is dropped on the 34-yard line by Homer Floyd, the boy who just ran that kick back. That play for a touchdown, not the kick. Kick was ran back by Roman. Well, it's on the 35-yard line when they mark it down. 1st down, 10 to go for the Bulldogs on the inbound line nearest this sideline marker. The Tigers really made that touchdown look easy. It didn't seem like anyone had much of a crack at Floyd. All right, single wing to the right for the Bulldogs, Bandy in the tail. The ball goes to Bandy, hands it off to Harris. He's through the middle of the line, goes to the outside, and then dropped on the 37-yard line. No blocking ahead after Harris got through the line. Man was taken by Floyd, the safety man, who wasn't even hindered on the play. He tried to go to the outside to step past those defensive men, but couldn't quite make it, and the gain on the play was 2 yards. 2nd down, 8 to go, although Harris was through a nice hole in the line and looked like he was in the open for the moment. But the defensive men in that secondary picked him up. Over the ball at center goes Ronnie Purdue for the Bulldogs. Now Harris is out on the left flank. Bandy's in the tail. The ball goes to Bandy. Gives it off to Garman on the wing spot. Garman is hit down on the 37-yard line. After his forward motion, it gained up to about the 38 or 39, but they allow it to the 37-yard stripe. Boone and Francisco drove him back to almost the 35-yard line. 37-yard line, 3rd down, 8 to go. Again, it was Garman through the hole in the line, but again, the secondary, the defensive halfbacks and the safety man, picked him up. So it's time out on the field with 4 minutes left to go on the first period, and the score, Massillon 14, McKinley nothing, and here's Bob Crading.
Any time for any meal, Pioneer Smokies are a real taste treat. Pioneer Smokies are made from the finest pork and pre-smoked for delicious flavor. They're quick and easy to prepare. Just heat them and serve them. Don't just ask for Smokies, ask for Pioneer Smokies. The score 14-0. The Massillon Tigers out in front, and they haven't really been doing a whole lot of offensive running. They've only ran the ball on about 3 occasions, 4 possibly, and they have 2 touchdowns. McKinley has controlled the ball. Other than that, they have 2 first downs, and that's the only statistics we have to share with you. We have a few first quarter scores. Michigan State leads Marquette 14-0. There's no score. Pittsburgh and Penn State at the end of the first quarter. Princeton 12, Dartmouth 7, first quarter again. Columbia 7, Rutgers nothing. No score in the Yale-Harvard game. Holy Cross is leading Fordham 14-0. And again, the Ohio State-Michigan score 0-0. All scores at the end of the first quarter. Time's back in, and here's Jim.
All right, Bob. Singleton to the right for the Bulldogs. Carter, the left end, is split wide now about 15 yards. Bandy's in the tail. The ball goes to Bandy. He's looking for a receiver. He throws it down the middle. It's good to Dreher. He's upended immediately by Homer Floyd, the safety man, on the 42-yard line. Dreher caught that ball. The ball's put down on the 43-yard line when they unplowed. Dreher caught that ball beautifully, was hit midships by Floyd, immediately put down. But it's 4th down now and about 1.5 yards to go for a first down. Nate Harris goes out of the lineup. Let's see who replaces him in there. Looks like Horace Harrison now to replace him at fullback. Bulldogs is going to kick and going to try for that 1 yard on 4th down. Ball goes back to Harris. He's through the middle. He doesn't get it. He's piled up on the 44-yard line. And it's Massillon's ball as they take over 1st down and 10 to go. Massillon's ball. The Bulldogs tried on 4th down with Harris going straight up the middle, and the Massillon line, which is awfully tough right there in the middle, just wouldn't be moved. So it's Massillon's ball, 1st down, 10 on the Bulldogs' 44-yard line. We noticed that Dreher seems to be able to hold on to that ball. Maybe next year the Bulldogs will have an end with the name of Jim Dreher. All over the ball to center goes Tom Fisher for the Massillon Tigers. Crescent's calling the signals. The right end is split wide about 5 yards. That's Letkovich. And there's a pass play. And Letkovich goes high in the air to take it beautifully. There's a beautiful block thrown on and by. And Letkovich is on for the touchdown. A beautiful pass, a catch, a nice block down on the 15-yard line on the only man who had a chance to stop him, and Massillon has another touchdown. Tremendous efficiency of this Massillon team today. Everybody has a job to do, and apparently everybody gets that job done. Letkovich took that pass behind the line, leaped high in the air to take it, cut toward the far sideline, and with one block thrown in there on the key man, went over for the touchdown. Here's the try for the extra point. Ball's put down, the kick's made by Boone, and the point is good. The score is 21-0. Massillon leading here with 3 minutes left to go on the first period. A score of 21-0 over the McKinley Bulldogs. And now the Massillon kicking team is on the field to boot this ball downfield with the Bulldogs. And that's what makes for great football. Efficiency on every man's part. A block thrown where it's needed. A pass caught where it's needed, of course, and a pass thrown right. And you can't do much about that. When they do it right, it's almost impossible to stop. Lou Rockney used to say every play is a potential touchdown play if it's performed to perfection. All right, the kickoff will again be made by Buckle for the Massillon Tigers. The ball's put down on the 40-yard stripe. The officials here today, in case you've just tuned in, are Chick Rupp, the referee. The umpires A.N. Smith, field judge Paul Tobin, and the headlines from Dave Crocker. Buckle will kick the ball from a flat position. It is kicked, and it's taken again by Roman. He bobbles the ball, picks it up, He's up to the 30-yard line, goes to 35, and brought down on the 38-yard stripe of the Bulldogs by Homer Floyd, who seems to be in almost every play for this Tiger team here today. A tremendous back who the Tigers will have back next year, and we would assume that Coach Mather will have him at one of those halfbacks to do spots next year. He's a great back, and now he leaves the ball game, and Madison has somewhat of a second defensive unit in there now, as Floyd's the defensive safety. Porter replaces him at safety now for Massillon. All right, and McKinley is in a spread formation with 2 men deep and 1 halfback wide and the end wide. Bendy throws a wide way over the head of Garman, who's over on the flat on the 35-yard line. Bendy throws clear over his head. Garman can't get up to get that ball. It's an incomplete forward pass. Second down 10 on the McKinley 38-yard line. Ball's in the inbound line nearest this sideline. Garman, the halfback, was wide. The end was wide. And Harris and Bandy were the 2 deep men on the play. McKinley back in the huddle on the 25-yard line. Snap out of it. Over the ball goes Purdue. Singling to the right. Dreher is now in between the left end and left tackle. There's a handoff this time, and there's a tackle on the play. Of the man carrying the ball was Dreher on the play, coming out of his left tackle spot, as it were, carrying the ball on the play on a handoff. On the 33-yard line, he's dropped for a loss on the play, back to the 33. It'll be now 3rd and 15, 5-yard loss on the play. Purdue over the ball at center. This Madison team hasn't been fooled hardly at all by this offensive change for the Bulldogs. Quick kick by now Harris. A high kick going end over end, dropping on the Madison 35, rolling to the 30, rolls down to the 25, down to the 21-yard line where it rolls dead as McKinley's ends and fullback are down on the play. Ball's in the 21-yard line, and now the ball was touched, says one official, on the 25-yard line. It apparently hit one of the McKinley Bulldog players and now they're moving it down. They're going to move it down to the 21. No, they aren't. They're putting it on the 25-yard line. Putting it on the 25, where it apparently bounced against the leg of one of the McKinley Bulldog ends who's down on the play. So it's Madison's ball on their own 25. First down, 10 to go. 1 minute 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter of this ball game. Madison back in the huddle. They lead 21-0 here in the first period. Tigers have their offensive team back in there again. Crescent's at quarterback. Crescent gives off now to Traylor, and it's the first time he's carried the ball tonight. He's trying to sweep down the sideline all alone as the weight of his offense moved to the right. He was knocked out of bounds over on the 27-yard stripe. Stopped by Roman and Matthews on the far side of the field. The ball's brought into the inbound line nearest that far sideline where it'll be second down and 8 to go. Iowa 7, Notre Dame nothing at the end of the first quarter, and there could be the upset of the day. Notre Dame feared this ball club. They thought it would be a very close contest. Iowa has stopped Notre Dame long winning streaks in the past. Crescent pitches out wide now to Floyd, the fullback running wide, and he's down the sideline. The tackle was missed on the play by Dreher, who missed him back on the 28-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds now on the 37. There's a flag down on the play, and let's see what happens. A penalty coming up. Flag down, and the penalty for clipping apparently. Wait a moment. No. They're moving the flag up. It's on the 37-yard stripe when they put the ball down. 36-yard line. There was a flag down. We don't know what the flag was about. And there's an injured Madison boy here on the sideline. While he was down is Homer Floyd. When he was carrying that football, he was knocked over into the across the sideline stripes. And now the ball has been moved back finally. And we'll see apparently a clip penalty called on Masson. That's right. We finally get the signal from the referee. Clip penalty on the Masson Tigers called. Puts the ball down on the 21-yard stripe. Homer Floyd is still lying here on the sidelines. Coach Chuck Mather and the team doctor in checking the boy. Ball's down on the 21. Time still out on the field. The score is 21-0 here in the first period. 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And now Floyd is okay. He's walking out onto the field, getting a nice hand defense. This is a tremendous back, this Homer Floyd. Time is still out. We'll try to bring you scores of these collegiate games as they progress throughout this afternoon. The Ohio State-Michigan game, as we noted, is 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. And Iowa leads Notre Dame 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. This Iowa team has been the makings of a great ball club all season. They've lost some very tough decisions, but they seem to be coming along now at the waning stages of this campaign. Ohio State, Michigan, 0-0 at the end of the first period. Michigan State leads Marquette 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Columbia 7, Rutgers 0 at the end of the first quarter, and ready to play down on the field again as Madison moves up on the ball. First and 25. They have it. Crescen's up under center in that quarterback spot for the Tigers. Gives now to Traylor. He spins far to the left on the end sweep, and he's tackled, but he bounces off the tackler, moves down over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Matt Harris finally knocked him out of bounds across the way, and they mark it down on the 34-yard line. McKinley had a man through on that play. He hit Traylor. Bandy on the play, but Traylor just seemed to bounce off of him. Didn't seem to be slowed much. And he went on for distance. Second down, 12 now for Masson. Crescen's calling signals. Gives this time to Francisco running the other end. And it's up to the 35. He runs right in between two McKinley tacklers. Up to the 45-yard line. And the two McKinley tacklers are Killens and Purdue. And both of them had a tremendous shot at Francisco on the play. But he seemed to run right in between them. The ball's on the 44-yard line now, where it's third down and 1 to go. And in 2 downs, Madison has picked up 24 yards in 2 sweeps to the ends. And both times, McKinley tacklers could have had the man, but just didn't seem to hit him. Over the ball at center goes Tom Fisher. Crescen's calling the play. Traylor, the right half, out on the right flank. And it's a sneak with Crescent's going the distance and still moving up over the 45, all the way to the 49-yard line of Masson, and getting more than necessary for that first down. Woody Carter finally made the stop, along with Gerald Patby. Ball's put down on the 48-yard line with the umpire, on the Masson 48, where it'll be first down and 10 to go. So with the two halfbacks, right and left, sweeping the ends, Madison picked up the yardage they needed for that first down. We had 2 seconds left to go on the first period before this play gets underway. There's the end of the quarter. The score at the end of the first period is Madison 21, McKinley nothing. Here's Bob Cranig.
Play-by-play audio with Jim Muzzy on WHBC Radio 1480 in Canton will return in about 20 seconds.
All right, Bob, over the ball at center goes Tom Fisher for the Tigers. T-formation balance line, McKinney in a 6-2-1 defensive alignment. There's a handoff on the play to the left halfback, Francisco. He's into the line, stopped at the midfield stripe by John Campara. Ball's on the midfield stripe, second down and 8 to go for Masson. We're in the second period of the ball game. The Tigers lead 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Madison back in their offensive huddle on their 35-yard line. McKinley lines up in a 9-man line. Then they jump back into a 7, now into 6. And there's a pass play. Crescent throws a long one. And Boone's out all alone down on the 20. He takes it over for the touchdown. A beautiful play again as Crescent threw to Boone, who was out past the defensive men on the play all alone by a good 3 or 4 yards. He took the perfect pass and went in for the score. Preston faded back, hit Boone for the touchdown. The score now is 27-0 in favor of Massillon. Ball's down on the 2-yard spot. Here comes the try for the extra point. Boone will kick. Holding will be Porter. Ball's put down. Kick's made. Kick looks good and is good. The score now is Massillon 28 and McKinley 90. And this Massillon team, complete efficiency on its plays. On all of its touchdown plays, it seems that everything worked as they were made to work. And that makes, of course, for scoring a lot of points in a short period of time. Michigan leads Ohio State at the end of the first half, 13-0. 13-0, Michigan over Ohio State at the end of the first half. All right, kicking off now for Massillon will be Volkel again. Volkel will kick the ball from a flat position in the 40-yard stripe. Boone, who ordinarily does the kickoffs, is right behind him. They run down toward the line together. Volkel boots. It's a low kick into the line. Outside with a head of Killens. Around, and now it's finally picked up by Needhurst deep in the backfield, and he carries up over the 15 to the 17-yard stripe, where he's knocked down by two Massillon tacklers, Traylor and Longshore. That ball bounced around crazily back there, as it is meant to do on that flat kick. And it's McKinley's ball now on their own 17. First down, 10 to go. One minute gone in the second period of this ball game. McKinley huddling on the 5. Now they're out of it. Over the ball to center is Ronnie Perdue. Single wing to the right for the Bulldogs. The ball goes back to Bandy. Gives it off to Harris, and he's stopped as the handoff was made on the 17-yard stripe. Harris no sooner got the ball than he was surrounded by three tacklers, Longshore, Letkovitz, and Schramm. It'll be 2nd and 10 now on the 17-yard line. Massillon in the 7-man line. Now it's an 8-man line, an 8-3. An 8-1-2 now it resembles, with Boone or Floyd, the middle linebacker. Now it's an 8-3. Now it's a 6-2, 2-1. There's a pass out to Harris in the flat. He spins up to the 20 and is down as he crosses the 20-yard line to about the 22 by Tom Boone. Ball is on the 22-yard line. That was a pass out of the left flat to Nate Harris. 3rd down, 5 to go for the Bulldogs. 10 minutes up to go on the first half. There's a standing room crowd down in the end here, but there's still seats in the bleachers at the end. We noticed sitting up on the bank, so we may have quite a bit more than the 15,000 expected today. Ball goes back to the fullback on the play, or tailback on the play, who was Garman. He hits off through right tackle, goes up over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Garman carrying through sheer drive up over the 25-yard line to the 28, and it's very close to a first down. The referee says, what do you want to do? To Glenn Wilds, the co-captain of this team, he says, let's have a check of the line. So they're going to call the lines in. We noticed that when Garman ran from that tail spot, he had drive, which Bandy has lacked all season long. He ran and got 5 yards on the play, hitting over right tackle, and it's not quite a first down. We have about a foot to go to get that first down, and it's 4th down coming up, and just about a foot to go. Now, will the Bulldogs kick it, or will they try for the first down? They're trailing 28-0, and they probably figure we might as well try for everything. We'll see though what they do. With Garman hitting off right tackle, they just might get it. But not up through that middle, which they tried a couple of times for no gain. They're going to try. Bandy in the tail. And now we notice that Horace Harris is in a fullback slot on this particular play. Ball goes back to Harris, and he's hit, but he gets the first down up over the 30-yard line to the 31. Harris carries the 31-yard line. Eddie Fletcher made the tackle on the play. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on their own 31-yard line. 9 minutes left to go in the first half. And apparently the theory here today for McKinley is to maintain possession of that football as long as possible, to keep it away from the Tigers, because on most every time they get that ball, in fact every time they've got it today, they've gone for touchdowns. Spread formation for the Bulldogs. The ball goes back to Bandy. He's looking for a receiver. He's being thrown for a loss. Back on the 25-yard line. Bandy, by the time he gets turned around and tries to find a receiver, is snowed under by Charles Hill and Jim Letkovitz. The ball's on the 25. Timeout for the Bulldogs. Here's Bob Crading.
Okay, Jim. Well, the Bulldogs have tried to pass 4 times. They've completed 2. They have 3 first downs in all. 2 in the first quarter, 1 here in the second quarter. Massillon, believe it or not, only has 2 first downs, both of those coming in the first quarter. Of course, they've gone all the way on a number of occasions, and the first downs don't count. However, Massillon has tried 2 passes, 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second quarter. Both of them complete, both for touchdowns. 1 to Letkovitz, 1 to Boone, and on both of those passes, there was no question about it. On the first one, the pass to Letkovitz in the first quarter, he got the ball. There was 1 McKinley defender there. However, Letkovitz had 1 Massillon blocker, and like the blocker is supposed to do, he got the McKinley defender out of the way, and Letkovitz went all the way. With the pass to Boone, which was complete for a touchdown here in the second quarter, on the second play of the second quarter, there was no doubt about it. Boone was all the way down. The pass was right in his arms, and he went all the way for the score. Okay, Jim.
Maryland 14, Alabama nothing in the second quarter. Harvard 6, Yale nothing. End of the half. Ohio U nothing. Marshall nothing at the end of the first quarter. McKinley's ball. Vanny gets the ball. He's looking for a receiver. He throws it up the middle. It's not good. Herman Jackson had a hand on it on the 35, but couldn't hold it. Incomplete forward pass. So it's 3rd down and 16 now for the Bulldogs on the 25-yard line. 3rd and 16. We have 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half. The clock, of course, stopped at that incomplete forward pass. Repeating that Michigan score at halftime, Michigan 13, Ohio State nothing. At the end of the first half, at the end of the first quarter, Iowa 7, Notre Dame nothing. Single wing to the right now for the Bulldogs. They have a 3-man backfield with Dreher in the line. The ball goes directly back to Garman. He gets over by tackle, goes up over the 25, and then is hit by the linebacker on the 27-yard line. Eddie Fletcher, the left linebacker on the play, hit him and stopped him after he hit through the line. Ball's in the 27. 4th and 14 now for the Bulldogs, and on this particular play, they'll undoubtedly punt it off. They're deep in their own territory on the 27-yard line. Francisco and Floyd back in double safety for the Tigers. Bandy in punt formation back to his 15-yard stripe. Snap of the ball is high. He gets it blocked. It's blocked on the play. Bandy drives back, covers the ball, and it's fumbled away from him, and it's finally covered by a Massillon man on the McKinley 5-yard stripe. Down on the play was Tom Boone on the McKinley 7-yard line. On 4th down, the kick was blocked, and it's covered by Massillon on the McKinley 7. And Massillon's going to make those touchdowns in just about every conceivable manner today. So it's 1st and goal to go on the McKinley 7. Massillon's ball. T-formation balance line for the Tigers. Crescent's up under center. Crescent gives to the right halfback Francisco. He's over left tackle, goes to the 5, drives his way and over for the touchdown. We'll wait and see, though. They may say he skidded a yard. Nope, not quite over. He was hit on the 1-yard stripe and skidded across. And there's the McKinley man injured on the play. Ball's put down on the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down for Massillon now. And this tremendous efficiency of this Massillon team also shows up in this line blocking. There are holes almost on every play, holes in which Massillon is insured of getting yardage. Now Coach Wade Watts comes in to check his injured boy. We don't know who the lad is on the play. We'll wait and see for you in a moment. He's a big lad. It looks like Wilds. It is Glenn Wilds, who is shaken up, and he's been shaken up a number of times during the season. He gets in under every play. He battles desperately in there all the time, and he seems to come up a bit groggy at times. He comes back in, though, and has played out every ball game, and we would assume that he'll be okay to do that same way today, although the doctor now is in to check him with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half. We have a fine halftime program coming up for you, featuring the McKinley and Massillon High School bands. Bob Craning, of course, will bring it to you, along with Jim Roberts, who is on our downfield microphone. A fine day for football here today. Beautiful day. And again, for the hunters who are listening, hunting season will definitely open at 9 a.m. on Monday. So you can get the old guns cleaned up, get that hunting gear ready. And Wilds is now being helped off the field. He is apparently banged up a leg, and he's being helped off the field. And that's the first time this year that this lad has had to go off the field, not under his own power. He's getting a nice hand from the fans for his tremendous work all season. Ball's on the 1-yard stripe. Massillon's ball offensively. They have a lead of 28-0 here in the second period, with 7.5 minutes up to go till halftime. And they have the ball first, second and goal to go on the 1-yard line of McKinley. Preston's up under center. Let's see if we have the sneak here, which they've tried before. No, it's given up this time to Francisco, and he literally just steps in. Head over right tackle. A beautiful hole there for him, and Francisco stepped in for the touchdown. The score now mounts up to 34-0 in favor of Massillon. And the way these touchdowns are being rolled up, this score could go to almost any point before this ball game's over, unless the Bulldogs show some definite signs of holding or Massillon eases up. All right, Boone will kick now. The ball's put down. The kick is made, and the kick is good. The score is now 35-0. Massillon over McKinley. And the Tigers again will come up to kick off to the Bulldogs. And while they do so, we're turning you back to Bob Craning.
Well, the story can pretty much be told here in the first half so far. Massillon's had the ball 5 times, and the score is 35-0. 7 points on each crack, and they didn't have to work too many times. Just a couple of 3 plays, and it seemed like they were into that end zone territory. And fans, while we have a chance, we'd like to say, why take less than a lifetime? Falk Bear gives you a lifetime warranty on all step-down design Hudsons. That's the kind of confidence Falk Bear has in the cars they sell. So why take less than a lifetime? Buy a step-down design Hudson at Falk Bear. Jim has mentioned to you the machine-like efficiency of this Massillon Tiger squad, and certainly you couldn't say enough about that. That's the story completely. They work their jobs well. They have their assigned tasks, and they complete them, and they score as a result of that. Good hard blocking, good hard tackling, shoulder to shoulder. The boys work as a unit and individually when they have to, and that's definitely been the story here at Fawcett Stadium as we prepare once again for a Massillon kickoff. McKinley is ready to receive. The whistle will blow in a second, and back to Jim Muzzy.
All right, Bob Buchel will kick for the Massillon Tigers. The ball is flat on the ground. It goes to Roman again. He's up to the 30, dropped on the 33-yard line on a nice tackle on the play by Ken Lorch. Ken Lorch, who brought him down on the play on the 33. The ball's about 20 yards in from the opposite sideline, where the Bulldogs will again take over to see if they can get an offense rolling here. They have not had the ball in Massillon territory more than once today, if we can recall correctly, and haven't been close to the Massillon goal at all. Let's see, the Bulldogs have the ball now, 1st and 10. They had it down to the Massillon 48-yard line at one point in this ball game, which was their closest penetration. Over the ball is Ronnie Perdue. Roman, the right end now, stood wide about 10 yards. Dreher's in the line. The ball goes back to Benny. He's going to throw. He's looking for a receiver, and he's again snowed under. He waits and waits and can't find a receiver, and he was dropped back on the 22-yard line this time by 4 Massillon boys who were breaking through there quickly on him to down him on the play. One of whom was Al Schilling, another Ron Gardner, and a couple of other boys who helped out. So the ball's back on the 22-yard line now, where it's 2nd down and 21 to go. Kinley's defensive line not holding out for Bandy to get the passes away, and Bandy, of course, not getting them away fast enough, depending on how you want to look at it. There's a pass across the line by Nate Harris to Carter. Carter took it almost in his end spot, went up high in the air to take it, and then was hit down by Willie Longshore as soon as he got it. Ball's on the 27-yard stripe, on the 27-yard line of McKinley, where it'll be now 3rd down and 16. 3rd and 16. Gain of 5 yards on the play. Garman is out, and Smitty Matthews is in at right half for McKinley. 6 minutes up to go on the first half of this game. 35-0. In case you've just tuned in, Massillon way out in front. Tremendous touchdown show here by the Tigers today. The ball goes back. It's a quick kick by Harris over the head of the safety man. Rolls down to the Massillon 30. Rolls down to the Massillon 27-yard stripe where it's dead. And the Tigers will take over, first down and 10 to go. Harris got that quick kick away off the right side of his foot. It didn't go as high as he'd like to have had it, or as long. So it's Massillon's ball. The offensive again is coming in for the Tigers, and the defensive changes are being made for the Bulldogs. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. The defensive changes from McKinley amount to 1 or 2 men, and we notice Bandy is staying in defensively now. Killens was replacing Bandy earlier in the ball game. Dew goes on now, and Smitty Matthews comes in at right half defensively. Preston's calling signals for the Tigers, and he's going to throw. He throws a long, long pass out on the right flat. It's good! A beautiful pass to Freddie. He takes it on the 45, down to the 30, the 20, the 10, and over for the touchdown. Bandy, the safety man, didn't have a chance. Traylor, the right halfback, took that pass beautifully over his shoulder. There wasn't a man close to him, and he went over for the touchdown. And the McKinley secondary defense today has been caught napping repeatedly on beautiful pass plays. This one for 73 yards. And the score now is 41-0. 41, Massillon, McKinley nothing. A tremendous trouncing, a tremendous victory, depending on which side you're on. Here's the try for the extra point. Boone kicks it, and Boone makes it. The score is 42-0. Massillon now, and the Bulldogs again will receive that football. Massillon no sooner gets it than the Tigers connect for touchdowns. There isn't much you can say about a team like this Massillon team, except that they're great, efficient, perfect. They haven't done a thing wrong today, even on the opening kickoff. They kicked to the Bulldogs when they won the toss of the coin. McKinley fumbled. Massillon went over on the second down for a touchdown. Now the Tigers will kick off again to McKinley. The ball is still being waited on by the officials. Still waiting on a football to be thrown in here. Notice the officials walking over to the sidelines to say something to the head linesman, and now the football's coming upfield. It was kicked into the crowd, and one of the Fawcett Stadium custodians has retrieved it, and it'll be thrown back into the ball game now. Ball's put down on the 40-yard stripe. Now we're going to have 2 footballs in there since one's already on the 40. They're going to exchange them, however. And Massillon again will kick. Boca will boot this ball from the flat position with a score 42-0. And in case you've tuned in late, we have still 5 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the first half, with the Tigers rolling to a tremendous edge today. They'll break the all-time scoring mark in this series today, which was held by McKinley or by Old Canton High. That ball goes out of bounds. It was kicked wide and over to the far side, and again close to Roman. It would seem that possibly McKinley might shift one of their backs over to that position, because Roman's had that football on most every kickoff today and hasn't carried it back more than 2 or 3 yards each time he's got it. And now they do that. They put Matthews. Smitty Matthews is put into that position where Roman has been playing on this kickoff. And now Buckle, let's see what he does with this one. That kick went out of bounds. He'll have to kick this one inbounds, and undoubtedly it'll be Boone booting this one now, because they have to keep it inbounds. Otherwise, the Bulldogs will take the ball on the 50-yard line. So it's Boone now, moving back to kick this one from a tee, and it'll be straight and true down the middle, we would assume. There it goes. It is down the middle all right, and bounces on the 15. Taken there by Horace Harris. He has hit, boom, he was hit. Tried to reverse his field, and is dropped on the 23-yard line. They put the ball on the 24-yard stripe. Horace Harris, carrying that ball back, was hit by Ken Lorch and stopped in his tracks. It'll be first down, 10 to go now for McKinley on their own 24. 5 minutes left to go in the first half. This will be a long ball game because of the great number of touchdowns that are being made today. by this Massillon team. And of course the halftime program will last quite a ways, but we'll join the ABC network for the Northwestern Illinois game upon the completion of this one. The direct pass goes back to Nate Harris, and he's spun and dropped on a head tackle right on the 26-yard line by Ken Lorch. Ken Lorch, a 170-pound senior, is playing defensively in there now. Second down, 8 to go on the 26-yard stripe for the Bulldogs. Bandy comes in now in place of Horace Harris in the backfield for the Bulldogs. 4.5 minutes left to go until halftime. Over the ball is Ronnie Perdue for the Bulldogs. Single wing to the right, Bandy in the tail. Ball goes back to Bandy, spins, tries to go into the line, is stopped on the 25-yard line by 3 Massillon attackers, led there by Alan Schilling. Alan Schilling, and again Ken Lorch in on the play. Third down, 9 now for the Bulldogs on their 25. They lost a yard on the play. And this McKinley team is completely outcharged on every play today. The line has been completely outcharged from the start of this ball game. And of course, that gives the backs very little opportunity to move if they had the holes to begin with. Single wing to the right. Ball goes to Bandy. Gives it off to Harris. Harris hits over left tackle. Is gotten by the hand as he was in the backfield there, but managed to pull away a bit and get up over the 25 to the 28-yard line, where he was finally stopped by Ken Lorch. The ball's in the 28. Matt Harris carrying for 3 yards in the play, 4th down and 6 to go. 3.5 minutes left to go on the first half. 42-0 the score. Massillon way out in front. Undoubtedly, nobody will vote against the Tigers except the very people who are boosting the Portsmouth club and a couple of the other teams in this Final Four in the state. There's a boot by Bandy, almost blocked, goes up, straight up in the air, drops on the McKinney 45, rolls across the midfield stripe. It's picked up in Massillon territory by a Massillon back, Andy Stavroff on the 43-yard line. He was driven back on the play by John Campara and Les Sawinski. The ball's put down on the Massillon 42-yard stripe, where it'll be first down, 10 to go for the Tigers. 3 minutes left to go on the first half. Massillon back in the huddle on the 32. Over the ball at center goes Tom Fisher. Crescent's up under center. Now he knows Johnson in there running this team from the tee. He's being rushed by the Bulldogs. He fumbles the ball. It's deep in McKinley territory. McKinley falls on it on the 15-yard line. It's the Bulldogs' ball. Al Crawford gets the ball on the Massillon 15 as Roy Johnson comes in on the first play from scrimmage in running this team from the tee. He fades back to pass, is rushed, fumbles. It's McKinley's ball on the Massillon 15-yard line. Al Crawford fumbles, covers the fumble. And this is the closest penetration of the evening, of the afternoon for McKinley, and of course it comes on a fumble, not on their own power. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Let's see what the Bulldogs can do with it. Single wing to the right. Nate Harris in the deep position. He's going to throw. He throws a pass to the left end. Willie Cotter, he stopped in his tracks on the 12-yard stripe by Willie Longshore. Stopped on the 12. The ball's put down, second down, 7 to go. That was a bullet toss across the line. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the first half of the ball game. Horace Harris comes in now for Bandy at the tail spot for the Bulldogs. Over the ball at center goes Ronnie Perdue. Ball goes directly back. There, Horace Harris trying to skirt the end. Goes to the 10. He's down to the 7-yard line. And just like in pro football, Horace, after he was hit, kept crawling and almost crawled into the end zone. The Massillon boy who tackled him, Andy Stavroff, is getting up slowly. The ball's on the 6-yard stripe. We have 1 minute 50 seconds left to go in the ball game, in the first half correction, and Coach Chuck Mather is being called in to check this ball. Horace Harris carrying around the end on the play, and he's taken out of the ball game. Bandy's put in at tailback. Time called on the field. Third down, 1 to go for the Bulldogs on the Massillon 6-yard line. Here's Bob Critting.
Okay, Jim. Well, Harris on that particular play really showed the desire and determination that the McKinley Bulldogs have out here. He wasn't going to be stopped. He wanted that 1st and 10. He didn't quite make it. They have 3rd and 1 to go. They're deep in Massillon territory, thanks to a very aggressive McKinley defensive line that time that rushed the passer. Johnson for Massillon caused him to fumble. Crawford hopped on the ball, and they're in scoring position with a little time, enough time to do it. Okay, Jim.
All right, Bob. Benny in the tail. Harris in the fullback slot. He hits over left tackle. He goes inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Harris goes to the 4. Chuck Lentz makes the tackle. It's 1st and goal to go. 1st and goal to go for the Bulldogs. 1 minute 35 seconds left to go in the first half. The ball's on the 4-yard stripe. And this is McKinley's closest penetration of the day. Horace Harris comes back into the ball game for Nate Harris now at fullback for the Bulldogs. 1 minute 20 seconds left to go in the first half. The score is 42-0. Massillon out in front. Singling to the right for McKinley. Ball goes to Horace. He's into the line, goes to about the 2-yard line, driving straight ahead. Bulldogs with power up the middle, go straight ahead. Chuck Hill and Alan Schilling in on the play. The ball's put down on the 3-yard stripe. His knee apparently a drug. We have just 55 seconds left to go. It's on the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal to go on the 3. The Bulldogs have time for about 3 plays, unless it's a pass which may stop the clock if it's incomplete. Up the middle again goes Horace Harris down to about the 2-yard line. And again it's Boone, Lentz, and Holloway. And with 35 seconds left to go, they put the ball on the 1-yard stripe. There's a McKinley man down on the play. Gerald Patrick, he gets up slowly. We have 30 seconds, 25 seconds left to go. 3rd down, and now McKinley substitution. In comes Al Crawford for Serinsky. 20 seconds left to go. 3rd and goal to go. The crowd asking him to move the ball ahead. Move on, try to get this play in, or they got 2 to come. And there goes Harris, but he doesn't make it. He gets to about the goal line. Horace Harris, and time will run out before they get another play in unless they call for timeout. And the ball is on about the 1-foot line, and there's going, it's a touchdown. And Horace Harris dove into the middle of the line. The Bulldog forward wall moved forward on the play, and the referee, after consulting with the headlinesman to see whether he had made the goal line, gave a touchdown to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs got to the goal line and over for the TD. So the score now is 42-6, and this is the final play of the first half. Campara will try for the extra point. Bandy will hold the snap of the ball. Campara kicks, and it's a good one. The score is 42-7. Favor of Massillon over McKinley, and the Bulldogs will kick off the Massillon Tigers now, unless that final play was the end of the half. We'll wait and see. If the half was over, that's it. The half is over, and that was the final play because the half had already ended before the extra point was attempted. Score at halftime then is Massillon 42, McKinley 7. And now for our halftime program, here's Bob Craddock.
Okay, Jim. Pioneer country-style sausage, the finest sausage you can buy, is made from firm, lean cuts of pork, skillfully blended with pure natural spices for that just right seasoning. Pioneer pork sausage comes in 1-pound cellophane rolls for patties, either fresh or smoked in casings in the small breakfast links, or in the new Smokies, the smoked breakfast link. You can always be sure that when you serve Pioneer pork sausage, you're serving the best. Makes the ideal meal for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So get your Pioneer pork sausage soon. It's packed and distributed by the Canton Provision Company, celebrating 50 years of service to Canton. Well, certainly for the Bulldog fans, it ended on a pleasant note, with McKinley scoring their only points here in the first half, picking up 7 as opposed to those big 42 points to the Massillon Tigers. At halftime, the score is 42-7. Massillon out in front here at Fawcett Stadium in what has been a brilliant show of power by the Massillon Tigers. Every time they got their hands on the ball, with the exception of the one time where they fumbled, allowing McKinley to score, they went all the way. We'll have a few scores for you. We'll give you a quick wrap-up here, and then we'll go down onto the field to bring you this fine halftime show. McKinley received the ball right in the first quarter, and they fumbled. Harris fumbled right away. Massillon took over, and 2 plays later, Crescent snuck over the center. Boone's kick was good, and they led 7-0. The McKinley took the ball, controlled it for a while, got a 1st and 10 thanks to a penalty, and then on a 4th down gamble with Bandy back to pass, he ran the ball, made the 1st and 10. They controlled the ball till they went down into Massillon territory to the 48. However, they were forced to punt. Massillon took over in their own 15, brought it out to the 21, and then Floyd, Homer Floyd, this fine fullback, broke all the way. Boone's kick again was good. They led 14-0. McKinley took over, ran 4 downs, were forced to kick. Massillon on one play later, a pass to Letkovitz. Boone's kick again good, 21-0, and that was the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, on the second play, Massillon in possession. From the 50-yard line, a pass to Boone was good. Boone again added the point. 28-0 was the score. McKinley got the ball. They ran the ball from the 17 to the 28. They had 1 foot to go. They gambled, made it, got a 1st and 10. However, were forced to kick later than that. In that series of down. Bandy's punt was blocked at that time. Massillon took over in the 7. 2 plays later, Francisco broke over right tackle. Boone's kick again good, 35-0. McKinley took the ball, couldn't move the ball at all as they had it on their own 33, ended up back in their own 27. A quick kick by Harris brought the ball into Massillon territory on the 27, and on the next play, another beautiful pass to Traylor was good. It went all the way for some 73 yards. Boone added the point. It was 42-0. And then you just heard it with just seconds remaining. Massillon had possession of the ball. Johnson went back to pass, fumbled it. McKinley's Crawford fell on it. They got the ball on the Massillon 15. They drove to the 6, to the 4, to the 3, to the 2, and on the final play, Horace Harris plunged over the middle. Kamara added the point. 42-7 here at halftime at Fawcett Stadium. A few scores briefly, and then down to Jim Roberts. Notre Dame at the end of the first quarter is behind to Iowa 7-0. Michigan leads Ohio State 13-0 at halftime. Michigan State 14, Marquette 9 at halftime. Minnesota 7, Wisconsin nothing at the end of the first quarter. Pittsburgh and Penn State 10, Pittsburgh nothing at halftime. We'd like to remind you that this game, as all games throughout the football season, this our 19th broadcast, brought to you with the best wishes of Falk Bear Incorporated and the Canton Provision Company through the facilities of WHBC, AM and FM in Canton. Well, it's halftime at Fawcett Stadium, and for the complete story and a better pickup of the music, let's go down to the field and Jim Roberts.
Thank you very much, Bob Frailing. We're working here on the field now, directly down with the mic. We're going to take it up as close to the bands as we can if we don't trip our assistant engineer, Van Amen, here. Massillon came out with their swing band, the marching swing band, did a salute to the McKinley Tigers, formed MCK, and played Fight on McKinley. Now they're doing their Tiger Rag dance. They'll come right back up the field here for us. We'll stand by and wait for them. Let's pick up some of the music right now.
The McKinley majorettes are back row Sherry Larson, Patty John, Myra Rosh, Glenda Barkley, Sandy Kay Walter, Pat Erickson. Front row Peggy Stern, Linda Herschel, Elvis Contanides, Frances Klainshe. The Massillon majorettes, back row Shirley Ringley, Janet George, Nancy Harper, Barbara Shipp. Front row Carol Habel, Barbara Dowell, Victoria Collins, and Pat Prunty. The McKinley cheerleaders are Charlotte Nolan, Glenda Goss, Pat Kirk, Connie Dunn, Jean Goss, Juliet Shaheen. The Massillon cheerleaders are Joe Larson, Pat Brinkerhoff, Juanita Rubio, Phyllis Jones, Joanne Pope, Sophie Christoph, Sally Schoffer, Ernestine Johnson. WHBC audio was not available for the second half. Therefore, narration is provided by Junie Studer, the 1972 Booster Club president, and Dave Putz, an assistant coach on this Tiger team. And now here is Dave and Junie.
This will be McKinley's first offensive play following the second half kickoff, and the ball will be on the Bulldog 26-yard line.
McKinley's lined up in a split left, slot left, sort of a single wing, unbalanced right, and the ball is snapped to Bandy, who makes a spinner, hands off to Garmin, and the Massillon penetrates very deeply. They're in a 5-4, sending two linebackers, but the ends are dropping off. And the tackle's made by Lentz, and then coming up are Gardner and Fletcher right alongside of him.
McKinley is now facing a 2nd and 17 situation with the ball being on their own 19-yard line.
McKinley lined up in single wing right with Bandy in motion to the right. They snap the ball to Harris on the sweep to the right. On the replay, we'll see that Massillon's in a 5-4. They're sending Willie Longshore on the backside, and number 42, and Billy Stone comes up and forces the defense, and Eddie Fletcher, number 60, makes the tackle. Billy Stone's number 20.
Now 3rd and 12 for the Bulldogs from their own 24-yard line.
McKinley's lined up single wing right. Ball snapped directly back to Harris, who runs right straight up the middle. Massillon on the replay appears like they're in a 5-4 with the outside loop by the tackles and ends, and the linebackers coming to the inside, and Willie Longshore makes the tackle, number 42.
McKinley is now faced with a punting situation with a 4th and 7 from their own 29-yard line.
McKinley's back in the short punt formation with Bandy kicking. Not a very good punt. It looks like it's about 30 yards. Massillon, as you'll see in the replay, is trying to set up a return right on. Carl Porter catches the ball. Number 53, and advances the ball about 6 yards, and he's tackled by Patrick, number 57.
This will be the Tigers' first offensive play of the second half, and it'll be a 1st and 10 from the McKinley 48-yard line.
Massillon's lined up in the full house backfield with a split right. They run a counter 57. Roy Johnson is his quarterback starting this second half. On the replay, we see Russ Meyer, the left guard, making a nice block on the end. Joey Golowski making a nice block downfield. And Ronnie Dean's making a block downfield on the backside, number 75.
Following Traylor's 14-yard run, Tigers now have a 1st and 10 on the McKinley 34.
Massillon comes out in the full house backfield, coming out to the right on what we call a 68 sprint out pass. On the replay, you can see that Johnson gets hit from behind, and the pass was attempted to get to Letkovitz, but number 57, but it's a very wobbly pass. Apparently he lost control of the ball.
I think that was McKinley's Crawford, their right tackle, number 84, that put the pressure on Johnson. It is now 2nd and 10 from the McKinley 34-yard line.
Massillon's lined up in the flanker right. Johnson at the quarterback on a straight drop back pass, rushed real hard and overthrows Boone, number 59, out in the left flat. On the replay, we have Traylor as the flanker and Floyd at fullback and Francisco at the halfback.
Yeah, Roy Johnson was very fortunate to even get that ball off. Following the 2 incomplete passes, the Tigers find themselves now with a 3rd and 10 on the McKinley 34.
Massillon's lined up in the slot right with Homer Floyd, number 30, at the fullback. We run a 58 sweep, and they're coming over to the sideline. The ball gets stripped away from Homer, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Looks like it was Garmin 55 that stripped the ball, and then Killens was also there for the to knock Homer out of bounds.
Massillon didn't have very good blocking on this particular play.
Yeah, that was Tom Boone, number 59, on his knees there, who has come clear across field for a downfield block. The Tigers now need 6 yards on this 4th down situation from the McKinley 30.
Massillon's lined up in a split right, flanker left. They come out and they run a 69 with Traylor carrying the ball. Is knocked out of bounds by Harris, number 69 from McKinley. On the replay, watch John Traylor's footwork. He's number 52. How he sets up the blocks for his 2 guards, Russ Meyer, number 50, and Joey Goloski, number 67. They just get fantastic. And notice our center, Tom Fisher's over there in the melee.
John Traylor's run has now given the Tigers first down on the McKinley 22.
Massillon comes out in a full house backfield with Johnson under the center. Comes out on a sprint out pass. It's a hook to Letkovitz about on the 10-yard line. Johnson got a good rush by the defensive end Carter for McKinley and on the replay, and you can see Garmin makes a tackle on Letkovitz and he gets to about the 10-yard line.
Massillon now has a 1st and 10 from the McKinley 10-yard line.
Massillon's lined up in a 2 tights and flanker left. They come out with what we call a wide 57 trap, and McKinley's tackle, Crawford, really fouls things up, knocks off both guards. But on the replay, you can see that John Francisco is a flanker and Homer Floyd is a fullback, and John Traylor is the right halfback, with Johnson still running quarterback.
Tigers now have a 2nd and goal from the McKinley 11 following that 1-yard loss, which I believe was the first loss of the game that a Tiger back has been involved in.
Massillon comes out in a 2 tights with a flanker right and run a 62 trap. And it looks like there's a fumble on the exchange, and Homer loses the ball. It's recovered by,
I think that's Charles Killens, number 52.
Number 52.
So the Bulldogs take over following the fumble. They now have a 1st and 10 on their own 13-yard line.
McKinley's in the right formation. They snap the ball directly to Garmin, who goes off tackle. He's tackled there by Kenny Lorch and looks like Billy Stone.
Yeah, Kenny Lorch did a good job of fighting off the block and coming up and with Billy Stone making that tackle, but the Bulldogs still pick up 5 yards on the play.
It's now 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs, and they'll be running from their own 18-yard line.
Lined up again in the right formation. Ball is snapped to Harris, who runs right straight up the middle. He's tackled by Eddie Fletcher. Looks like he's gained about 4 yards.
It looks like he's going to be a bit short for the first down, which is going to bring up a real key third down situation. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Pups. So the ball is going to be resting on the 22-yard line, and the Pups will probably be coming right at the Tigers to get that 1 yard.
Massillon's in a 7-2-2 defense, and they give the ball to Harrison out of a right formation. They give a strong double team on Gardner up the middle. Looks like it's pretty close to the first down.
There's a good second effort there by Harris, because Charles Hill had him pretty early in the backfield. That helmet seemed to come from Wilds. He's picking it up there. I think he's the right guard. So the Bulldogs have their first down now. The ball's going to be placed on the 23-yard line.
McKinley is lined up in the right formation. The snap goes to Bandy, who fakes to Garman coming around the end, but he ends up handing the ball to Harris right up the middle. He runs, looks like, oh my, he's going to make about 19, 20 yards, something like that.
I would think that's going to be the Bulldogs' big gainer of the game so far. They really broke that one up the middle.
Harris is tackled by Stavroff and Stoner. It's number 20 and 22. And that gives them a first down.
So the Bulldogs now have 2 first downs in a row, and they find themselves on their own 42-yard line.
They line up in the right formation. Oh, they run the same play that they just ran with Harris carrying the ball with the double fake. And he's tackled by Longshore, and there's a fumble on the play, and it looks like Ron Gardner recovered the ball. He's in a 5-4 with Ron Gardner on the outside in the lower part of your picture. He comes up there, and then he curls back into the middle there, and then he comes in there and recovers the fumble. A fantastic effort on his part.
The Tigers will now have pretty good field position following the McKinley fumble. They're going to have a first down now on the McKinley 41-yard line.
Massillon's in a straight full house backfield. They run a 69 sweep with Trailer coming out there, and he gets tackled out of bounds by Willie Carter, but there's also a clip on the play, and it looks like it might be Bruce Schramm, who's playing the left tackle. He comes out there, and he just gets a clip right about on the 35-yard line, so it looks like there might be offsetting penalties because there's 2 flags on the play. Yep, they're bringing it back to the 41-yard line. It's still 1st and 10 on the 41. Okay, on the first down, Massillon comes out in a full house backfield. They snap the ball and they come out on what looks like a bootleg pass, but there must be some follow-up because he sure gets rushed, and he throws a long pass down the sideline to Tom Boone. Looks like their pass protection was fouled up. Quarterback is Roy Johnson, and he's been playing this second half. He gets off a nice pass, but it's just out of bounds.
The Tigers are now in a 2nd and 10 situation on the McKinley 41-yard line.
Massillon comes out lined up in a wing right formation. They run a 54 trap with Ronnie Agnes, number 45, doing the trap, and gets a nice block. But boy, there's a foul up in the middle, and it looks like John Francisco's not going to make very many yards. He gets hit pretty solid.
The Tigers now find themselves with a 3rd and 9 on the McKinley 40-yard line.
Massillon lines up in a wing right again. And they come through with a 62 trap, with Agnes making another nice trap block. The backfield of Massillon is Trailer at the wing back and Floyd at the fullback and Francisco at the left half, and Floyd carrying the ball on this one. Looks like he makes about 4 yards. Looks like the tackle was made by the right linebacker.
Massillon now has a 4th down situation. They need 5 yards for the 1st down, and the ball's spotted on the McKinley 36.
Massillon comes out in a full house backfield, and they run a reverse with Trailer carrying, and some fantastic blocking by the offensive guards, especially Alan Schilling, who gets 2 men on the play. On this replay, watch Alan Schilling, the right guard, comes out there, and he comes around and he makes beautiful block on 2 people right there. And of course, Trailer makes some beautiful runs there, finally knocked out of bounds on about the 9-yard line.
Well, that fine 26-yard run of John Trailers has been nullified by a penalty. So the Tigers are going to find themselves with a 4th and 10 from about the 46-yard line, and we might be looking for the first punt of the game by the Tigers.
Massillon comes out in a spread punt formation with Trailer punting. He makes a short punt. The ball comes down about on the 15 where it's caught by Harris. And he starts off to the right, and he's tackled by Ron Gardner about on the 17-yard line.
McKinley will now take over with the ball on their own 17-yard line, 1st down and 10.
They come out in the right formation again. The ball snapped to Bandy, who fakes to Garman. That's the same play they ran the last series, and they give the ball to Harris, who makes a nice, it's really an off-tackle play the way he's running it. And he's tackled by Tom Boone, who's playing the corner man on that 4-4 Massillon's defense.
Harris picked up 6 yards on that last play, so it brings up a 2nd and 4 now for McKinley on their 23-yard line.
McKinley's lined up in a right formation. They snap the ball to the quarterback, Dreer, who runs an old-fashioned spinner right up the middle. He looks like he gains about 6 yards. He's tackled by Jim Letkovitz. Massillon had a stun on in their 5-4 defense with Fletcher crashing and Letkovitz dropping off.
Now, after 2 back-to-back 60-yard runs, the 6-yard runs, the Bulldogs have a 1st down on their own 29-yard line.
They line up in a right formation. They snap the ball to Dreer. He fakes a quick pass, and then he drops back for a deep pass, and he's rushed real hard by Tom Boone, who misses him. And then Fletcher comes up and makes a tackle. Looks like he almost fumbled the ball, because Tom Boone jumped on him pretty quick there after he was down. So they got a pretty good-sized loss there.
That last play was a 13-yard loss for the Bulldogs, so they find themselves now with 2nd and 23 on their own 16-yard line.
McKinley is in a right formation. They snap the ball to Bandy, who fakes a handoff to Garman, drops back to throw a pass. He throws deep in the middle to Carter, and it's knocked down by 2 Massillon players. I can't quite get their numbers.
And it's now 3rd and 23 from the Bulldog 16-yard line.
McKinley comes out in the right formation, ready to run the ball. Massillon is in there 5-4, and they said, oh, there McKinley's going to try a quick kick. Fletcher comes flying in as a crashing linebacker. He blocks the punt. Gardner scrambles over, picks it up, and he looks like he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. On the replay now, you can watch Fletcher coming in from the left side as a linebacker. He blocks Harris's punt. Gardner picks it up. Now watch Tom Boone get a block here right on the goal line and allows Gardner to score the touchdown.
With about 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter, the Tigers are now leading the Bulldogs 48-7 as they line up for the extra point.
Tom Boone is back to kick, and Carl Porter's going to take the snap. The snap is poor. Scrambles, he picks it up and pitches it back to Boone, and the ends call what they call, the kicker calls fire, and the ends go out for a pass, and you can see Tom Boone is scrambling out here to the right, trying to throw the ball to Jim Letkovitz, who's in the end zone, and it's knocked down by a McKinley player. Ron Boko is kicking off for Massillon. Gets a kick down to Roman, picks it up and has a nice return, and he's tackled by Tom Boone. It looks like Joey Galowski in the pile. It looks like he's got about a 13-yard return there. Roman picked the ball up in the replay. You can see at number 71. He's got a nice return of about 13 yards. He's tackled by Tom Boone, and Joey Galowski gives McKinley a good field position.
McKinley has a first down on their own 41-yard line, and you'll get a better look at this running play on the replay.
McKinley is lined up here in the right formation. They make a direct snap to Garman playing the tailback spot, and he runs off tackle, and he's tackled by Jim Letkovitz, who comes slashing in from the outside.
After the 1-yard gain, it is now 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs from the 42-yard line.
McKinley is lined up in a right formation. They snap the ball and they throw a pass. Now, they've switched 2 of their players around. As you'll see on the replay, Bandy has moved to the tailback and Garman has moved to the wingback. Bandy takes a direct snap, runs off to the right, and throws the ball to Garman, who's tackled very hard by Tom Boone. Looks like he's made about 4 yards.
And the Pups now have a 3rd and 5 from their own 46-yard line.
They're lined up in a right formation, and Massillon's in the 7-4 defense. The ball is, as you can see in the replay, is snapped directly to Bandy, who hands the ball to Willie Carter, who is the end. It's on an end-around play, led by the quarterback. Whoa, and he is tackled real quickly for about a 1-yard gain.
McKinley now has a 4th and 4 situation from their own 47-yard line.
McKinley's lined up in a spread punt formation. They're back to kick. Massillon's attempting to rush the punter, but they don't get through. He gets a kickoff, and it looks like it goes out of bounds down about the 13-yard line.
The Tigers take over the ball on their own 13-yard line, 1st down, and with the clock running, this might be the last play of the third quarter.
Massillon comes out in wing right, run a 62 trap with Homer Floyd carrying. Notice the block in the replay by John Traylor, who's playing the wingback. He comes out and gets a nice block on Garman. even though the ball doesn't get out that far. But Homer gets, boom, right there. Beautiful block.
The Tigers will start out the fourth quarter now. Score's 48-7. They've got the ball second down on their own 14-yard line.
Madison comes out in the wing right, run a 168 pass, which is complete to Letkovich. Roy Johnson's still in at quarterback. He's being rushed by Roman. But the protection is really pretty decent here. Both guards get blocks, and he completes it to Letkovich, who's run out of bounds on about a 47, it looks like.
No, 38.
38.
Following that fine catch by Jim Letkovich, which gave the Tigers a first down on the 38-yard line.
Massillon comes out in the wing left. They run a 62 trap, with Russ Meyer doing the trapping, but Homer fumbles the ball. It looks like the guy that was doing the trapping may have caught Homer's arm and pulled the ball out. You can see the ball's fumbled, and there's a big pile up. Looks like McKinley may have recovered.
And the Bulldogs take over following the fumble. It'll be a first down on the Massillon 39-yard line.
McKinley comes out in a right formation. Ball snapped to Bandy. He's rushed pretty hard, but he throws the ball to Dreher, who is playing the quarterback spot, and went out, cut across the middle. He's tackled by a host of Massillon players. Massillon's in a 7-4. And he throws a nice pass and it's completed, and he's surrounded immediately by about 5 Massillon players that put him down.
The Bulldogs find themselves now with a 2nd and 5 from the Tiger 29-yard line.
McKinley comes out in a right formation with Horace Harris playing the tailback and fullback spot, and he takes the snap and they run what I would call a student body right. Everybody took off to the sweep to the right, and Massillon's in the 6-2-1-2 defense, and Kenny Lorch comes back and makes the tackle, assisted by number 52, John Traylor.
It's a first down for the Bulldogs. The ball's now resting on the Tiger 26-yard line.
McKinley comes out in the right formation with Harris, number 69, playing the tailback. They run a trap play with Dreher leading through the hole. They're attempting to trap Bruce Schramm, who folds back and makes the tackle, and he's assisted here, as you'll see, by Dick Fromholz. And they bring him down after about a 3-yard gain.
It'll now be a 2nd and 7 for McKinley with the ball on the Massillon 23-yard line.
McKinley comes out in the right formation. They snap the ball back to Bandy, who hands off to Garman, and he's quickly smothered by a tremendous, quickly charging defensive back of John Francisco. And we're seeing Massillon in a 7-4 again, and they got some new players in there like Charlie Hill and Tom Morrow. So Massillon's starting to use a few substitutes here.
The Pups now have a 3rd and 6 situation with the ball on the Tiger 26-yard line.
McKinley comes out in a right formation with Bandy at the tailback spot, and they stop the ball to Bandy, who throws a pass to Roman, who's playing the right end, who's running a drag pattern. And Francisco comes up quickly and makes another nice tackle about on the 14-yard line.
After that 12-yard completion, the Bulldogs are only 14 yards away from the Tiger goal line. It'll be a 1st and 10.
McKinley comes out in a right formation. Ball snapped back to Bandy, who is attempting a sweep to the right. And Massillon is going into a 5-4 pinch down here. And Kenny Lorch really, the left end really comes in there hard and sort of upsets things. Bandy comes on the sweep. Ron Gardner comes up real hard, makes the tackle along with help from Homer Floyd and help from Joe Holloway, number 49.
Bulldogs are now on the Tiger 10, 2nd and 6.
McKinley comes out in a right formation with a direct snap to Garman, who runs right straight up the middle. Massillon's back in their 7-4 defense. Joe Holloway makes a submarine dive right through the line and runs right smack into Garman and stops him cold right there for a no gain.
It is now 3rd and 6 for McKinley from the Massillon 10-yard line.
McKinley comes out in a right formation with the wingback way out here to the right. They're going to throw a pass. Bandy gets a direct snap, and he's throwing to the right end out in the flat. And it's can't tell whether it's knocked down or he just drops the ball. But it's an incomplete pass.
Bulldogs are in a 4th down situation. They need to get to the Tiger 4-yard line in order to get a 1st down.
Massillon is back in their 6th defense. McKinley is in the wing right. They snap the ball directly to Bandy, who hands back to the quarterback, Dreher, after a fake. And Dreher is really smothered by three people miss him. And now he's breaking away, and he's still thrown for a loss after he gets away. I thought he was going to make a 1st down the way he was going.
The Tigers take over on their own 16-yard line. 1st down and 10.
Massillon comes out in a wing left with Richie Crescent's back in. Homer Floyd runs a 62 trap, and he is shedding, oh my goodness, he's shed 3 or 4 tacklers. With 4 guys on him, he still gained another 4 yards for about 11-yard gain. Nice trap block by Russ Meyer playing the left guard. Boy, Homer is running hard.
Okay, following that 11-yard run of Floyd's, the Tigers now have a 1st and 10 on their 27-yard line.
Massillon comes out in a wing right. They run what is called a 54 trap, with Meyer getting another nice trap, blocking John Francisco carrying the ball. And he's brought down by a host of McKinley players. Looks like he's gained about 6 yards.
Tigers now have a 2nd and 4 from their own 33-yard line.
Massillon comes out in the wing T left. Richie Crescents comes out and hands off to Trailer on a 55 trap. And they fake a sweep with that. Along with that, and Al Schilling makes a nice trap block. And Johnny picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
The Tigers need a yard to keep this drive going. It's 3rd and 1 from their own 36-yard line.
Massillon comes out in a full house backfield. McKinley's got a big 8-man line front up there, and Cressens runs a quarterback sneak, and he breaks out there. Whoa, he looks like he's going to make about 20-some yards there.
Okay.
Massillon only needs a yard, and they run a quarterback sneak. It's all they needed, and Cressens doesn't run a quarterback sneak directly up the middle. It looks like it's off the right guard's tail, and he goes for about 20 yards.
The Tigers have crossed midfield now, and they've got a 1st and 10 from the McKinley 42.
Massillon comes out in the wing left, and they run a 63 trap up the middle. They get nowhere. Stone gets stopped dead cold. In fact, I think he may even lost the yards there. This is Billy Stone's first play from scrimmage. He's a fullback, number 20, ran right up the middle.
It's now 2nd and 11 for the Tigers from the Bulldog 43-yard line.
Massillon comes out with the full house backfield. They're running a 128 sweep pass. No one takes Roman at all. The defensive end, it looks like there might have even been a missed assignment. They horse collar roll Cressens, and he throws the pass a little bit short. It was to John Traylor, number 52.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to need some yards here. They got a 3rd and 11 from the 43.
Massillon comes out in the wing left. The ball snapped. They run a 69 sweep with Traylor carrying. He gets a nice run, beautiful run, good blocking by both guards, Egelowski and Russ Meyer. Notice on the replay here that Traylor fumbles the ball around and it flies up in the air. Watch this closely and you'll see the ball. Right there, see, it's up in the air, clear over his head, and he manages to get a hold of it. And then the other thing, McKinley can't seem to bring this kid down. The whistle's blowing, they still bring him back here almost 10 yards, he's still on his feet.
Well, John Traylor got the first down for the Tigers, so it's now 1st and 10 from the McKinley 26.
Massillon's come out in a slot right. They run a 67 counter with Traylor carrying. He has the 2 guards leading through the hole. One's kicking out, and the end is blocking down, and they have a crashing linebacker that almost catches Traylor, but he still manages to get by him, and he picks up about 7 yards.
We've got a 2nd and 3 now from the Bulldog 19.
Massillon comes out in wing right. The ball snapped. They run what they call a wide 56, and both guards leading through the hole. And Francesco makes a nice gain of about 6 yards. You can watch those 2 guards coming out there really hustling. They almost didn't get that trap.
Francisco got the Tiger first down. This drive started clear back on the Massillon 16-yard line, but now we got a 1st down and 10 from the McKinley 13.
Massillon comes out in a full house backfield, and McKinley's lined up in an 8-man line on this 1st down situation. Massillon runs a 62 trap, and boy, they don't get the double team or the trap, either one, and Stone gets stopped cold.
Now it's 2nd and 10 for the Tigers from the Bulldog 13.
Massillon comes out in the wing left. It looks like it looks like Williams is playing at the fullback spot. Bobby Williams, who's ordinarily a tackle, and they run a 58 sweep into the sideline. He looks like he gains about 8 yards, but there's a flag on the play.
Okay, you might have noticed there that both ends, right and left side, both took off early. And it's going to result in a 5-yard penalty for the Tigers. The officials are positioning the ball now. And now that's going to bring up second and 15 following that 5-yard penalty. The ball's going to be on the Bulldog 18-yard line. And this is the 11th play of this drive.
Massillon comes out in a split right, wing left, and they run a 69 pass with the quarterback, 169 pass with the quarterback throwing, and he's throwing to the wing back, who is John Francisco, who's in the end zone, but the pass is just a little bit overthrown. He just can't quite get it.
The Tigers now find themselves with a 3rd and 15 on the Bulldog 18-yard line.
Massillon comes out with a full house backfield, split right, and they run a wide 58 sweep to Homer Floyd. He was run out of bounds, and it looks like he's picked up about 9 yards. And the quarterback just gets the pitch off. He almost went down before he got it off.
The Tigers have to get to the 3-yard line for a first down, as it is now 4th and 6 from the 9-yard line.
Massillon comes out in the full house backfield. They run a 67. And McKinley had jumped into an 8-man line, which makes it a very tough play. Russ Meyer gets a nice block, trap block, but the play just doesn't go. There's just too many people there. He gets stopped. Looks like he may have gained a half a yard or maybe none at all.
Having held the Tigers, the Bulldogs will now take over with a first down, and it'll be from their own 9-yard line.
McKinley comes out in the wing right, and they snap the ball to the tailback, and who attempts to hand off to the fullback, and he fumbles the ball. There's a big scramble. Looks like McKinley has recovered it, but there was an offside penalty at the same time, and Massillon refused the penalty, so it makes it second down.
Now that the Tigers have refused the penalty, the Pups find themselves with a 2nd and 14 from the 6-yard line.
They're lined in a right formation. The ball snapped to Bandy, who hands off to Harris, who runs off tackle to the left. Looks like he's picked up about 7 yards. Maybe it's about to the 13, looks like. Massillon's in the 7, almost an 8-man, it's a 7-man, 7-4 defense.
The Bulldogs are going to need about 6 yards to get a first down, and the ball's going to be snapped from about their own 13-yard line.
McKinley comes out in the wing right. They snap the ball to Bandy, who hands off to Harris. They run the same play they just ran on the previous down, and he's stopped by the defensive tackle. Can't get his number, but it looks like he didn't gain enough yards. In fact, I think he's in there for a no gain.
It's going to be 4th and 6 for the Bulldogs, probably a punting situation. It'll be from their own 13-yard line.
McKinley comes out in a spread punt. They got a heavy rush by Massillon, and they roof the kicker. and that will probably give McKinley a first down. Let's see here. Can't tell who. It's a second man in from the right end. On the right end, that really roughs the kicker, really rams into him. Wasn't a very good kick, so McKinley will get the ball 1st and 10.
Well, the Pups have a first down on their own 28-yard line, and then the clock's running with about 45 seconds left to go.
McKinley comes out in it's an unbalanced line, wing right. Massillon's still in the 7-4 defense. They snap the ball directly to Harris, who runs directly up the middle. Bandy's faking a pass, and looks like he gains about 3 yards, maybe.
The ball's been spotted on the 32-yard line, brings up a 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
McKinley comes out in the right formation, and the right tackle jumped offside. The ball is snapped directly to Harris, and he looks like he gains about 2 or 3 yards, but I'm afraid they're offside. In fact, it looked like their whole right side sort of jumped. Massillon's still in their 7-4 defense, and McKinley has sort of an unbalanced line. It's unbalanced left, it looks like.
It's 2nd and 11. The ball's on the McKinley 27, and this could very well be the last play of the game.
McKinley comes out in a right formation, snap directly to Harris, who runs right straight up the middle again, picks up about 2 yards. Massillon's still in their 7-4 defense. They just don't make the yardage, and of course the game is over, and the people are starting to flood out on the field.
Luther Emery, sports editor for the Massillon Evening Independent, opened his Monday sports column with these words. Massillon today awaited the outcome of the final Associated Press poll, which is expected to name the Washington High School Tigers state champions for the 6th consecutive year. Writers among the 16,500 people who saw the Massillon Gritters slash Canton McKinley to pieces in the first half of their traditional game in Fawcett Stadium Saturday afternoon and win 48-7 are convinced the local team deserves the state crown. The triumph was the Tigers' 23rd in a row and completed 2 consecutive undefeated seasons. It was the 57th victory for Coach Chuck Mather and his staff since they took charge of Tiger football in 1948. They have lost but 3 games, one each in the 1948, 49, and 51 seasons. They also were undefeated in 1950. The win over McKinley likewise was Massillon's 28th of the 58-game series that started in 1894. McKinley won 25 and 5 ended in tie scores. The Tigers were terrific. Their first half offense was the most devastating, most perfect we have ever seen. You have probably heard and read most of the figures by now, but they are worth repeating here. In the first 4 plays from scrimmage, the Tigers got 3 touchdowns. It took them 6 plays to get their 4th, 2 their 5th, and 1 their 6th. In other words, their remarkable offense produced 6 touchdowns in 13 plays from scrimmage. Anyone want to dispute their claim to state champions? They rolled up a 42-0 lead in 1 1/2 periods, after which Coach Chuck Mather opened the gates of mercy and began giving his senior substitutes as much action as possible in their final high school game.